Hello everybody, my name is RabbidLuigi and I've moved house! It's taken a little while, but I'm here now and I've got a countdown for you people. Feels like a long time since we were speculating over who was going to make it into Smash Bros. 4. How we lost our shit over one character or another making it into the roster. Oh, the memories. Is it too early to start reminiscing?
Oh, how we speculated, but we needn't have worried. Turns out that Nintendo, Sora and Bandai Namco knew what they were doing after all, and so we were left with a huge character roster that threw up all sorts of different playstyles and concepts. They kept the clones to an absolute minimum, and brought back characters that were long overdue a run out, long overdue a return, and even some characters that everybody forgot about. So rather than remaking a top 40 I did nearly 2 years ago about all Smash Bros characters, which you probably wouldn't see until June because it's a lot of work doing something that large and really fucking stressful and there's wonders for your blood pressure, I'm just looking at the newcomers. It's less work that way, and you don't have to wait about a month to see all of it. It's a win-win situation, frankly. Well then, considering she has the ability to grant the power of flight, Palutena makes a surprisingly lackluster character. Sure, put her in the right situation and she can shut down an opponent completely with counters and reflectors, but her effectiveness is severely situational. The biggest drawback with Palutena is the moveset she starts with. Granted, play around in extra modes unlocks some other moves and she's got some firepower, but only her auto reticule actually does any direct damage to an opponent. Everything else relies heavily on taking advantage of what your opponent does, and if your foe knows this, they can just play around that.
I mean, I personally don't do any competitive smashing, so I can't really complain too much, but when you're learning a character from the base up and learning how they jump and move around the battlefield and that kind of thing, it's a bit jarring to have one attacking special to start off with. It's not the best basis on which to learn a character, frankly. A little while ago, there was a list of characters who were really famous, massive icons of video gaming and hadn't been in Smash Bros. So, really important character hadn't been in Smash Bros. That list is a little bit shorter now.
Oh, you were so close, guys, so fucking close! We spent so long in the dark, Capcom throwing us for teasers and slowly and painfully killing off Mega Man. We thought that was it, there's no chance of Mega Man ever making it into Smash Bros. And then BAM! Mega Man in Smash Bros! Oh my fucking brug! It's so fucking done! I quit! I'm gonna go play some Mega Man! And yet I found Mega Man to be kind of disappointing. I mean, sure, it's pretty sweet how all of his moves are directly related to Robot Master powers, something his reveal trailer really wanted to make clear, but that's kind of what every Smash Bros character does. It's not that much of a surprise. I just think he lacks power, not enough to juggle an opponent around and keep them down. He gets full marks for nostalgic overload, as, you know, he kind of would do, but sadly, not a lot else. If Mega Man was the one character that everyone wanted to be in Smash Bros, Wii Fit Trainer was the one character that literally no one saw coming. I mean, as far as curveballs go, this is up there with, well, Mewtwo dragging his butt back into Smash Bros. Wii Fit Trainer sent the interwebs into raptures, an idea so fucking ridiculous that it can't be anything but the best thing in the world. Except when you're actually fighting as the Wii Fit Trainer, at which point, it's not that she's a bad character, she's just not quite as good as I thought she'd be. I mean, how hilarious would it have been if the most out-of-place character was uber-tier quality, capable of smashing her way through any opponent with a football?
I mean, she's not bad, she's not exactly terrible, but her moveset and the build-up we had for her were both really funny. And when you actually get to use her, it's not as funny, because it's not very practical, so it's a bit of a disappointment, frankly.
Pac-Man in Smash Bros is simultaneously a really obvious idea, and yet one that doesn't make all that much sense. I mean, as soon as Bandai Namco rode into town, you put 2 and 2 together and make Pac-Man. But it's not like he's been pushing the reaches of current video game righteousness lately. Not exactly the character on everyone's lips recently. Which makes it more interesting when he turns out to be pretty decent. I didn't really know what to expect from Pac-Man when he was first announced, but he's a competent all-rounder stuffed full of references to Pac-Man games past and present. Or so I'm told.
I wasn't actually there when they announced Pac-Man as a playable character, and I really wanted him to be the classic look. I mean, we end up with like 3D Pac-Man from another game series, I don't know where it comes from. But at least it comes back for his final smash where he's the big old Pac-Man we know and love. Yeah.
Smash Bros has shown us time and time again that even characters with no personality can be used as an effective smashing implement, and finally, the villager from Animal Crossing got to show what he, or indeed she, can do.
I use the phrase no personality to be a good thing, because it's got that kind of crazed psycho killer with like deadpan stare. I mean, that works perfectly for Villager and Smash Bros in general.
Villager brings something I don't think has ever been seen before in Smash Bros, and that is the pocket attack. We've had reflectors and counters for a while in this series, but the Villager's pocket attack is just a little more scary. Think of it like a projectile reflector, except it doesn't send it back immediately. Instead, you store it up, leave it for a later use, keep it to one side for when your opponent isn't expecting it. And it can even do this with items. Personally, I'm not that good with Villager, hence why he's this far down for me, but he does bring forth some new ideas that change the way fights can play out in Smash Bros.
It's a shame that we found out about certain characters through leaks rather than their character reveal trailer. I mean, Bowser Jr.'s trailer, where he shows up and is just amazing and kicks everybody off the field, is unbelievable. If that was the first time we knew about Bowser Jr., it would blow our fucking minds. He's here, and he's brought some friends, family members.
Oh my god, guys, Roy is back in Smash Bros! Just a shame that he looks like Elton John and not like a metrosexual. Yes, Bowser Jr. doesn't just bring himself along to the Smash Bros party, but all of his brothers and sisters, effectively making him 8 characters in one. A bit like how Olimar can become Alpha for skin change. Does it make a difference? No, but it saves from having a bunch of clones as separate characters instead. Bowser Jr. is quite a mixed bag. Apparently he only just got into the game, nearly getting the cut from the roster if it wasn't for some quick work from the game staff. But I'm glad they did. He's packing both fast moving and slow moving projectiles and a massive hammer that I love using above all else, especially if the people you're playing with don't know how he can do this thing. He's not all that powerful, but he can be annoying if you use all of his attacks properly. There's also not a damn thing you can do about his final smash, even if, again, it lacks the strength to send people flying from the get-go. And at least you can finally play as a guy called Roy. Customization in a fighting game is wrought with danger. Developers spend an awful long time trying not to make a character too overpowered. People after all play games like this competitively. And so I was naturally both very skeptical and slightly worried when Reggie and Iwata started kicking the shit out of each other. Even if it was just, what are you people doing to this Nintendo Direct? So yeah, Mii Characters, the bane of the competitive player. An embodiment of being able to customize not just these characters, but of course every character in the game. This does leave me with a problem though. How the fuck do I rank a character who can do and be so many things? Stick it in the almost middle, that's how. Yeah, 9 is kinda close to 7.5.
I was thinking about leaving the Mii characters off the list entirely because you can do what you want. You can make them incredibly fast, incredibly strong, or incredibly tanky and defensive. There's just too many variables, effectively, which makes me sound like a scientist, but we are lumping 3 characters into one slot, which I'm not entirely happy about, but I can't leave them off either.
If any of you saw the top 40 I did on Smash Bros characters a long time ago, you'll know I place Marth pretty damn high. He's quick, hits like a truck, and has the only guaranteed one-hit kill final smash. So when Smash Bros 4 brought Lucina into the roster, you'd think that I would be right at home. And yet, this isn't the case.
Clones aren't actually proper clones if you think about it, because we've always had Mario, Luigi, Dr. Mario, who have differences. We've had Fox, Falco and Wolf, who have differences. Marth and Lucina don't have many differences.
Even if you use Lucina and Marth back to back, you'll find it hard to see any differences between the two characters. I had to go on the fucking wiki to find out that there are some slight alterations, but only about 3 or 4 tiny changes. And yes, I know this works well for Lucina as a character. I've played Fire Emblem Awakening too, you know, but I can't help but be a bit disappointed by this. Like I said, I love playing as Marth, and that extends to Lucina as well. But I can still be disappointed by how little effort went into bringing her into Smash Bros. And it's a similar case with Dark Pit, although not quite as bad. Dark Pit was originally supposed to be an alternate costume for Pit, but was upgraded to full character status to give him his own unique final smash. We didn't get this sort of thing with Fierce Deity Link or Dark Samus, but I'll let that slide for now. I'm watching you, Sakurai. Dark Pit functions as a slightly stronger version of Pit, but with attacks that are a bit harder to direct. Like I said, he also packs an exclusive final smash, which ironically is exactly the same as Zelda and Sheik's final smash.
If the original decision to put Dark Pit in Smash Bros was based off the fact you wanted him to have something unique about him which distinguished him from normal Pit, why would you then make that unique aspect the same as someone else's? So what's the point in that? I'm guessing that redundant translates into Japanese very poorly. I've stated this before and I'm willing to take the flak now that I don't really like having new Mario characters into the Smash Bros series because there's so many. I know they're important, but there's so many of them. If you're going to add a new one, it's got to be interesting and unique.
The Ice Climbers may be dead in the eyes of Sakurai, but Rosalina and Luma shall carry their spirit on. Seriously, if Ice Climbers weren't included because the 3DS couldn't handle them, how are Rosalina and Luma different enough to be within the 3DS's comfort zone? At any rate, the similarities with the Fallen Veterans is perhaps an understatement of what Rosalina and her little Luma can really do. Because you see, the Luma isn't technically an AI-controlled character, more so an extension of what Rosalina can do. You use an attack, the Luma will use an attack. You can launch the Luma ahead of you and effectively give her attacks a ridiculously large range. If you can master when and how to use your Luma properly, then you're going to take some stopping. People are already tipping Rosalina and Luma for the upper reaches of tier lists, and it's not too hard to see why. However, this is my video and I haven't spent hours playing Rosalina and Luma, so you'll have to settle for 6th. Cry about it. Maybe not quite as in demand as Mega Man, but enough to warrant a spot on a video that someone made about characters that should be in Smash Bros. Little Mac was another character who was crazy late to the Smash Bros. Party. He comes from a fighting game for fuck's sake, how is that not the perfect makeup for Smash Bros?
Now you see, what I'm not going to mention is how Little Mac, from my prediction video, got into Smash Bros. And the other 9 entries didn't get into Smash Bros. And in fact most of them became assist trophies. I'm going to gloss over that and hopefully no one will notice.
Little Mac breaks faces like nobody's business. Like Captain Falcon, but a lean, mean boxing machine. One-on-one with an opponent and you're going to be dealing damage and damn quick too. Though you'd kind of expect a boxer to be able to string together some sick combos. But apparently this, for some reason, wasn't good enough. Little Mac's power meter moves him out of, hey, yeah, she's pretty good I guess, to, God damn it Mac, the chocolate's on the house, baby! Being able to instant KO opponents when it's charged up is straying slightly into the realms of catastrophically overpowered, but there is one massive downside to Little Mac. He jumps like his legs are broken. Get knocked off the stage by any attack, and there's some serious question as to if you'll make it back. Doesn't have to be a powerful hit because Little Mac is at loss anywhere that isn't nailed to the ground. They even managed to carry this over when you Mega Evolve Little Mac into Mega Little Mac. Awesome boxer guy who can't jump for shit. Maybe Mario can give him lessons. There's been annoying characters in Smash Bros before. Anyone who's come up against someone using Pikachu spamming thunder like it's going out of fashion will understand exactly how irritating some characters can be if you try hard enough. Which is remarkable really, because you don't have to try hard to be an infuriating dickface with Duck Hunt Duo. This is almost canon actually. The Duck Hunt dog is famous across the world of gaming for being a tremendous d-bag who laughs at you if you miss a duck. You want to break his face, you want to smash him across a stage. The fact that he has an exasperating moveset just compounds this even further.
Duck Hunt Duo is all about area control, the ability to keep someone away from you at arm's length to make sure they don't come towards you and attack you and annoy you, because Duck Hunt Duo haven't got the best standard attacks. That fucking explosive can is diabolically annoying. It hurts so much.
You would have been a fool to not expect a new Pokemon representative into the Smash Bros Hall of Fame, but I didn't really think that the new rep would be Greninja. I mean, retrospectively it makes a lot of sense. Of all the new Pokemon to be added in X and Y, Greninja is probably the best blend of being built like a fighter and being a ninja, pretty much.
I haven't thought about it until just now, but I think my favourite fighting class in video games is Ninja, because you're very quick, you're very lethal, and you're very efficient in how you do things. It's quite a lot of fun to play as, and that might be why I like playing Shulk as well.
He might not be Mewtwo, but holy cow can Greninja get work done. Perhaps unsurprisingly he plays an awful lot like Sheik does most of the time. Not exactly a weak character, but fast moving and very quick when using attacks. Water Shuriken's a bit crap actually, but Shadow Sneak is so much fun to use. Advanced players can probably see it coming, but it's a very satisfying move to pull off. Throw in a counter and a show-stopping final smash, and I find myself wondering if we were going to miss Mewtwo at all, if he wasn't added in afterwards. Maybe people can now start to appreciate Greninja for the character he is, rather than a messy Mewtwo compromise.
Quick question. Count the swordsman in Smash Bros 4. I'll give you a little moment to do there. We can look at my room. It's all echoey, it's a little bit cold, it's lacking a bit of insulation, it's mostly wood. It's 9. Okay, guys? That includes the Mii swordsman guy.
That's a hell of a lot of characters who use the same basic weapon. Sure, there's variables on each of those characters, except for Marth and Lucina, but it doesn't leave all that much for tactics, really. You just go in there, all swords blazing, slashing away at anything that moves. Which is why the inclusion of Shulk into the roster means so much for the face of Smash Bros. Because Shulk isn't your run-of-the-mill swordsman. He'll be swinging his sword around like the rest of them, but this isn't just any sword. This is a premium quality, one-of-a-kind Monado. And I've heard it's pretty good, gets good reviews. The Monado arts make Shulk into an infinitely versatile character. I'm not quite feeling it yet when using him, but it allows you to change your own stats on the fly. Move faster, jump higher, get some incredible knockback. You can do all sorts of crazy shit all on one character. And this is before getting into things like the backslash and bringing Dunban and Ricky along in his final smash. Frankly, any character that injects a bit of British into Smash Bros gets mighty high on my list. And so, through the process of elimination, you can probably work out who's my number 1. So I could stall for time and build this up, but you and me both know all I have left is Robin.
Another quick question. Did anyone actually name their avatar Robin in Fire Emblem Awakening? Is it that kind of Legend of Zelda thing where you can name Link whatever you want, or in Pokemon where you can name the random trainer whatever you want? Is that Fire Emblem canon?
Many people, including me, were expecting Chrom from Fire Emblem Awakening, but you know, I can get over that now that Robin's here. It's almost a bit of Greninja and Mewtwo, and hey, that one worked out pretty well. Robin stands out as a very different Fire Emblem Awakening character, as being the only ever representative to use anything other than a socking great sword. I mean, he's got one, but he's also packing a whole load of spells. And yes, you can spam your Arc Fire and varieties of Thunder, but Robin also introduces durability, another thing never seen in Smash Bros before, forcing you to use your brain. Even if you use all your magic up, you can always knock opponents around with your handy dandy lightning sword. Never leave home without it. But the surprise of the night comes in the form of Robin's final smash. Many thought that Ike's final smash would never be bested, but bringing Chrom to the party for a couple of seconds turns Robin's final smash into a sight to behold. Nobody's getting out of that one without breakages.
This has been RabbidLuigi, and if I were you, I would stick around on this channel in the coming weeks and months, because, as was said by someone incredibly famous, I've got some scales to tip.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. I am now properly moved in and settled into my new house, so hopefully you won't go nearly 2 months without getting a countdown from me again. My plans are actually to try and make one every week, even if it's not always a top 10, just to give you more frequent and reliable content on my channel. I'll keep you posted on that one, probably on Twitter or Facebook, they're here somewhere, I don't know. Take care guys.